Misogyny is always brought up. What's the female word for misogyny?
Misandry.
What? Wait, there's a word?
How come we never talk about that? You know why we never use it? Because in our culture today, men are not allowed to have opinions about anything. It's misogyny, but women can say whatever they want about anything. If you look at history in the last couple of decades, women have had the most to say about things. And then women are also getting mad at other women for having things. That's how pick-me culture became a thing. You don't hear them call men pick-me's, it's women pick-me's. So anytime a woman has an opinion that differs from the popular culture of most women, what do they call her? A pick-me. Anytime a man has an opposing opinion to what the popular culture of women think, what do they call him? Misogynistic. How come there is nothing like that for women? That's my biggest problem.
Well, apparently there is a word, but we just never hear it.
But you see what I'm saying?
Misandry.
We don't even know what it is. The same way you have toxic masculinity. So there's nothing toxic about women. There's no such word as toxic femininity. You want to know why? Because toxic masculinity was created by women.
I'm gonna let you go first.
I was about to say, I don't think I have what I do.
Wait, hold on. Whoever is the producer over there, Ed at the table, you ain't shit. You gonna throw up a complicated topic for these women to just circle rub themselves amongst how this does not make sense. You're just gonna throw them out to the lion's den like that to allow the birds to chirp. You ain't shit, my guy. You gotta give them some stage notes or something. Have them at least give some type of thought before we about to hear drivel. You know what? Maybe I'm speaking a little bit too early. Let's give the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what they say.
I'm gonna let you go first because I just want to chill and just see what I want to see what the people say.
I think that
I'm feeling very Miami.
Come on, baby. Prove me wrong.
to say that toxic masculinity, that phrase was created by women is ridiculous. And I just want to say that no, we don't use the word misandry in like our everyday. It's not one of our buzzwords. We spoke about buzzwords earlier. It's not one of our buzzwords, and misogyny has been because we see misogyny a lot in our day-to-day lives. And that's why it exists in our vocabulary. It's not women making it up. It's really just us learning the world. Just like how we learned all of these other, what did we call it earlier? Progressive.
Bless her heart.
We're learning the ways.
Progressive terms.
Yes, these are progressive terms. We're learning the ways of the world, and we're learning people, and we have therapy, and we have these words to guide us in what is happening and how relationships are formed, and the negativity that comes from males. This word was not created by women. The phrase was
created and controlled.
I feel definitely not controlled.
Thank you.
It would be nothing to push if there was nothing to talk about.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hold up real quick before they just go round and round in sister code gibberish and bullshit. Let's do some quick fact checking. According to Google Gemini, Google AI, the term toxic masculinity was created in the 80s by Shepard Bliss, a figure in the mythopoetic men's movement. Bliss used the term to distinguish harmful, exaggerated traits of traditional masculinity, like emotional suppression and physical dominance, from what he considered deep or healthy masculinity. The term gained widespread recognition, particularly in the 2000s and 10s, when it was adopted by feminist scholars and commentators to critique misogynistic behaviors and attitudes. This right here is a photo of Shepard Bliss. So she was right. It's not created by a woman. It, in fact, was created by a man. It was co-opted in the 2000s and 10s to mean something a bit different, but it was originally created by a man. Do I think that she knows that? Hell no. I just think it was a good guess, as her and her compadre word splattered themselves to say why toxic masculinity exists, because toxic femininity does not exist, because to them, only the masculinity being toxic is what they observe. But I love that AI here is pointing out the original meaning of it, emotional suppression and physical dominance, and then explains when feminist scholars co-opted it to mean anything that they determine is anti-woman, which is a slippery slope because you can accurately describe a woman's behavior, but if you do, you're a misogynistic asshole. Nevertheless, let's get back up in it.
I know your ass got something to say.
That's just my little 2 cents. And not to say that misandry doesn't exist.
It absolutely exists.
Okay.
It definitely does exist. I know a couple toxic women myself.
Sure.
I mean, I just admitted to knowing a couple toxic women myself.
Alan must know your friends.
Do you want me to say that every woman I know is toxic? Is that what? Because I feel like I'm being fair here.
No.
Okay, a couple is
few.
too.
I find it infuriating when you're trying to have a conversation with somebody, and in order for them to obfuscate what is a reality or a truth, they'll often go to a far extreme to try to deflect from the point that you're trying to make. Nobody wanted you to say that every woman in your life is toxic, baby girl. Like nobody got there. Y'all expect us to be in relationships with these women. Can you imagine how my head would explode across a dinner table trying to have an in-reality conversation? As logical and rational as I am, having an in-the-moment conversation with women with conversation tactics like that. You can never win. Logic will never win. The emotions will always win. And you'll never get to the point of actually solving things because they float ideas up into their delusions or their irrational estimation of the things that they are saying. No, ma'am, no one is asking you to do that. You're like, damn.
He was 3.
Do you know her friends though?
And I don't even mean friends. I just mean like people in the world. I've come across people. I've met people. That doesn't have to mean my friends or anybody close to me, but I've come across a few
This is so
toxic
crazy.
women that have toxic traits, and
Absolutely.
misandry
Bad
is
people
a thing,
exist on both sides.
but unless we're talking about it being like absolutely detrimental to this relationship recession that we are now going through, I feel like that's when it can become a bigger conversation. As to ask why we don't talk about it,
Because it's really not a thing.
Because misandry is not backed up by structural power.
Thank you.
And that's the problem
Jesus
that
Christ.
some people
I have none.
maybe don't understand that.
No, you know what? No, let me say it. I know you trying to sugarcoat it. So this is the thing. I love the Ellises. I
Was that the first
love
couple?
what they represent. However, this is a terrible take because at no point, and we can only speak for the United States because this is where we live. At no point have women controlled the policies, the ideologies,
Oh my God.
the institutions, X, Y, Z in this country, right? So to say that women have an opinion, cool, yes, we do. Those opinions have been elevated on podcasts. They've been elevated on 90s talk shows, Oprah, Sally, Jesse, Raphael, whatever. Like, it is a thing. Women have complaints. What do those complaints
Materialize into?
Thank you. What do those complaints materially amount to?
Oh my goodness. I'll give you a big one. And the thing is that I really hope that women can just sit and functionally listen to the words that I'm about to say, because I often think that your egos are just so damn big. And this is not all, right? But some of their egos are so damn big, they can't see the forest beyond the trees. They want men to be empathetic to women in situations, but you often see that these women cannot be empathetic for a man's situation. The argument being that women have had platforms for decades now to voice their concerns on these mainstream platforms and to have many of these thoughts, feelings, and ideologies so rife on one side of the political spectrum, which is why so many men look at components of liberal ideology as it refers to gender distinction or the prioritization of fathers within laws, paternity fraud, DNA testing, and then the they-them culture, which tries to equate men together. You have an political side that is okay with biological men performing in athletic opportunities with biological women, or biological men being able to walk in the bathrooms of biological women. And on top of that, if you take a look at certain structures that have been put into place, less so now in reference to DEI, by and large, women have been the ultimate beneficiaries of DEI. Now, there's a lot of arguments as to the length of time that women should receive this prop, but because of legislation, men and women of the exact same credentials, if an organization needs to fill quotas of more women, the man will lose out on that opportunity. So to posture like things representative within the LGBTQ, the feminist movement, which leads to the breakdown of the traditional home, the traditional family, where a mom and a dad is incentivized to stay together, the family court system, because these different things are happening. In reality, then it's forcing men's hands to look at what they're voting for and to choose something different. And usually they're doing this silently. What you are talking about, ma'am, is non-empathetic circle jerk sisterhood talk that has no bearing on reality of the reason why certain ideologies that are now considered mainstream have officially leaked into laws and policy. Prioritizing the daddy as your government and keeping the man out the household has done incredible damage on the impact of family within our country, and has especially done major damage within people that look like you and I. Everybody, according to our Constitution nowadays, should have the right to vote, but it really scares me, and I begin to understand some components of when some people say that certain people should not have the right to vote, when you see them amalgamate the different things that are happening within their life, but they're so not empathetic to understand varied thought or critically think about the actual things that are happening in front of their eye. Everyone might have the ability, but not everybody is properly equipped.
What is a complaint? Nothing. It doesn't materially amount to anything. That is a problem. So you're saying, essentially what he's saying is that, yeah, toxic masculinity, blah, blah, blah. Why aren't we attacking feminine toxicity? Whatever. What is it? Toxic femininity. Cool, yeah. We can. There's literally no problem because it exists. There's literally no problem. But there's also no structures holding up toxic femininity.
You're wrong.
What structures are holding it up? Please
so
tell me. That's what I want to know.
None.
You got a whole bunch to say over there behind the TV screens. But there's not one thing that women, and this is honestly, this is without race. Across the board, there are not things that hold up.
This is so crazy.
Toxic femininity.
It's so unbelievably delusional and so damaging that this is legitimately being published on a platform like this, and people they just believe this stuff. So there's nothing wrong with anti-father culture. There's nothing wrong with baby mama culture. There's nothing wrong with promotion of emotional thinking. There's little to nothing wrong with the current state of the disparities within the court system, and specifically the family court system. Yeah, nothing is stood up, right? It's just not only stood up, but amplified on social medias like TikTok and Instagram. This is what the non-accountable looks like. They can do no wrong, and they see nothing ill about what's happening. That's why the pendulum is swinging so far in the other direction right now, and why content like mine has become popularized, because something is afoot.
It's an illusion.
Okay.
Oh yeah, delusion. Delusion holds it up.
Okay, so Alan, I feel like give us something. You're like saying or whatever.
Hold on, Alan's gonna be like, "What's viral?"
No, put him on the mic because he got something to say. Give him the microphone.
Loud and
like,
wrong.
We're not gonna cut it out.
Counter it with something.
If you were to put it in
No.
You're too far. You're too far.
Yeah, son.
If you were to put it in simple terms, women have a very tough time with balancing communication with accountability. What happens is that for communication to flow freely, and I understand your complaint, I want to balance out what you complain, but you're going to have to hold and carry some accountability as well. And when that comes to, let's say if accountability was 100 pounds, women want to carry 3 ounces.
Yo, it's so hilarious to me when the content itself proves the point that the man is trying to make. You understand what I'm saying? There was something that happened that was specific to the Joe Budden podcast recently that was the same shit. If I can find that, I'll put a clip in here as well. But it's the same thing.
A lot about women. I think I learned exactly how the fall of man occurred in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, and Adam said one day, wow, Eve, here we are, at one with nature, at one with God. We'll never age, we'll never die. And all our dreams come true the instant that we have them. And Eve said, yeah, it's just not enough, is it?
No, that's not funny.
I was just waiting for more.
Well, that was kind of his point.
Oh, God.
That's kind of what he was saying. I mean,
Because women didn't apply 100 pounds. Damn, you want me to carry 100 pounds that you applied? No, it can't be 50-50 when you put 100 pounds on my neck.
To put 100 pounds on just one person is unfair.
She argues shit that
what
doesn't
I'm
exist.
saying is that we're not saying, we're literally not saying that toxic women or toxic femininity does not exist.
Absolutely exists.
We are not saying that.
Structure
So
that-
for you to come and your counter is all women can't take accountability, or they don't have the communication skills to do so. That's just not true. Like, you're literally trying to put everything on us. And it's just not true. So and that leads to men
I'm getting
not
dumber.
taking their part of accountability, because it's just like, as long as you know that that woman or a woman has some accountability to take for whatever reason, whatever accountability you have to take doesn't matter. You're also assuming that all women are gossiping. No. Gossiping? Gossip more than women. Are you serious?
Alan, I'm in a barbershop every other weekend or every other week. Men gossip way more than women.
Men talk shit. Yeah, they do.
Way more. And the thing
I
is
don't think
that,
it's
like,
more.
y'all be gossiping about stuff that y'all not even willing to take accountability for with your homeboys. You know your homeboy doing some fuck shit. And y'all talking about him, but ain't nobody going to correct him. Ain't nobody going to tell him that, yo, my dude, you're not doing right by your family. You're not doing right by your home. You're not doing right by your children.
The thing is that, this is why these conversations just go so far off of the rails, is that, it becomes an us versus them, right? Instead of focusing on the actual topic, now she's circling back around about what men do wrong. This was never a part of the argument, ma'am. It's like, by the way, if you guys are in a relationship with a young woman, and through whatever points that you bring up, right, when it comes to like this and these heated debates, if she always brings it back to, well, your side or what you do wrong within it, without being able to focus on what you're saying as the bad behavior that she might be participating in, she is the marquee, unaccountable woman. You must understand that. See, us accountable men, when we do shit wrong, we're like, my bad. That's it. But that's because accountability for masculine men comes with the territory. If we're wrong, we might need some more examples in our data to understand if we are wrong. But like a logical, critical thinking, problem-solving man is going to be like, oh shit, my bad. But for women like this, they run from this shit like Superman running from kryptonite, like it's the damn Black Plague. They will. And they'll utilize the tactic of focusing on what you do wrong to complement an argument of their bad behavior. Oh, God, if you see that, and even if they say that they're an accountable person, they're lying. They're gaslighting you. They're not. Let's go.
But we gossiping. Out of here. No. And make sure you don't cut this out.
By the way, let me also say is that she's right. This does happen, but it's on both sides of the coin. Right? But we're talking about the toxic femininity versus masculinity. This does happen, but women have the same exact shit that happens. They know. And the thing is that these women will cheat more covertly and more successfully than men because they way more smarter at it. So, and they all their homegirls know about it as well. So it's like a dull point. People do it. People cheat. They do bad shit. All right? Let's go.
No, because like the thing, like it. So maybe y'all aren't in men's spaces, but to be in barbershops all the time where men ain't tripping about, I think maybe they might chill on like kid stuff. If there's kids in there, they may not say stuff. But for the most part, when I'm in these spaces, they talking.
Listen to a conversation with a man talking to his homeboy, not an acquaintance, but like a person that he's comfortable with.
Casual man-to-man catch-up can be seen as gossiping. Because that's what
gossip.
Yeah, because that's what you guys call gossip when we catch up or we give the deets of what's been going on in our life. That's gossip to you guys. But you guys do the same exact thing. Chris, you making a face, so what's up?
Yo, when I tell you, you wrap it up in clean linen and you repackage it and say it's not gossip. It's like I'm catching up with my boy. Please give me the data.
Yeah,
I have no historical. Please don't say Helen of Troy.
Who starts the war?
Wait, hold on. I think that's very ironic because one, I actually don't know a lot of women that just make up random gossip just to stir drama. I do know that when things come to being like completely made up, men do that best. Why do you guys always lie about, I don't even want to say you guys because I'm throwing you in a category with, you know, people you don't belong in, right? But why do men specifically, not saying all men, but many men, why do they always lie about people that they've done things with or had sexual relations with when that really did
use a woman as a scapegoat with the quickness and the readiness? And Alan's like,
I'm not saying
many wars have been started? Because like a man needs a scapegoat and a woman is the easiest.
Who started the war?
Low hanging fruit.
Listen to this. I'll tell you guys real quick. Yesterday was watching a movie and then we were having a conversation, right? You know what the funny conversation was? When I was younger.
No, we don't know.
Baby mother culture was crazy, right? Remember the whole baby mother culture during the 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah.
You know one thing most men said they've experienced commonly is that
and let me be clear, the culture was shaming a man if he did not want to be in a relationship with a woman because she had a kid. I remember that specifically as a kid. I remember watching the daytime talk shows as a kid, and that would be the messaging. And it wasn't until I was older that I understand the follies of signing up for a lifestyle like that. And thank goodness we got content here today on decentralized platforms where we could talk about the follies and be truthful and real with you before you make that decision. I was going to say mistake, but it's not a mistake. That if you understand the potential repercussions fully, if you fully understand it and you still want to sign up for it, well, that's a decision at the end of it. All right. But maybe let's see if that's what he's talking about.
Dated a girl who had a baby. She always made you pick her up around the same time the baby father was around. Do you know how many baby fathers have walked in houses because she wants the baby father's attention. She wants attention from a man. Women have started so many wars just for attention. You know what they said about women? They said you could do anything to a woman within reason. But this is just the quote. You could do anything to a woman except bore her. Do not let a woman get bored.
Alan.
Women are addicted to attention.
Look at this one on the right. She like,
to drama.
You're right, but let me try to figure it out.
Need it in their veins.
Alan, I'm sorry.
Thank you for generalizing all women.
No. You know what? Allow him to generalize. I'm sorry. I have a few rebuttals to that.
Sure.
One, I know plenty who like to keep up mess.
There she goes.
Plenty. Like, I don't know if they got it from their mama, their daddy, I don't know who it came from, but they love to keep up a good argument, whatever. And the argument don't even be needed. Like, what are you raising your voice about? What do you call that kind of man? Somebody I don't want to deal with it. Period. I just don't deal with those kind of people. But, Alan, for you to say that women start these wars, no. The wars are started by men who are unable to react in those situations appropriately. The thing is that if you see there's your woman's child's father here, and then you come here, what you got a war for? He ain't with her, you are. So what you warring for?
Emotionally dysregulated.
Yeah, the thing is that, no,
You're
see.
dysregulated.
Oh, wait, no, okay, so Alan, what you're saying, the woman put you there, and she also
to show off
made you react the way you acted, right? Okay, cool. Wait, so that means that the woman controls you. So it's either the woman controls you, or you don't know how to control yourself.
Right. Because she made me react this way.
Because the woman made you. I'm sorry, and the thing, and I'll say this, and I've said this before, like, we make our own choices. Even when, remember I told you a long time ago that, like, my husband, like, I cheated on him with somebody else. And I never said to him, like, hey, I made a mistake, or it was your fault. Yeah, there were things that he was doing. At the end of the day, the decision to be with somebody else was on me. I made that decision.
Okay.
What?
Hold up. She's not lying. We're going to skip over the cheating thing because, I don't want to get too derailed off of this video, but she's not lying. At the end of the day, we all make choices and decisions. But she's also obfuscating the point that women in these situations sometimes shit test their guy, right? They create tests or set men up in a situation to be in a volatile, lose-lose situation. Look no further than that Brittany Renner situation between her and PJ Washington, and had that man walk in with a camera to his face in a hostile, poison-filled situation. Recorded and put it up to the internet with her loud-ass banshee mama as if she was in the goddamn right. And that was a situation that did not have another man involved, just her crazy mama. Now imagine if a man had been in that situation, how much more volatile or crazy the situation would have become, because there is a subtle manipulation of the facts of the situation in order to make him feel a type of way, because she might be bitter that guy has either A, moved on, or is just not giving her the attention that she still wants.
No, but I said this a long time ago.
Yeah, but this is a woman taking accountability for her own actions and not saying, oh, but you weren't there for me, or you stopped sleeping with me and you weren't giving me enough attention, so it's your fault that I went out and cheated on you.
So I'm accepting
which is usually a man's argument about going out and cheat.
That so his actions contributed to my response, to what I did. At the end of the day, I still made that decision.
True.
Nobody made me make that decision. You understand? So for a grown man to sit up and say, oh, well, she made me do that. No, nigga, you did that. Like, and I'm saying it with my SO voice. No, nigga. Like, what? No, like you did that. SO? So just say that there were things that contributed to it, but you made your decision.
But like men are so happy to use women as a scapegoat. Like,
thank you.
It's just, it is such low hanging fruit. It like, their favorite keyword of the last 2 years have been accountability.
I knew when he got over there. They can't spell it. When he got over there and wanted that mic, I knew he was gonna say that.
It's like
I knew that word was coming out of his mouth.
That's like their favorite word, and it's just like, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a level.
It's like narcissism.
Ability for comprehension. Like, you don't understand what accountability actually means. Like you'll say in the same breath, you made me do this, as if somebody has full control.
They had a gun to your head.
Right? And then you'll talk about accountability.
Accountability is to men what narcissism is to women.
Mike. No. You can't talk without a mic.
You need the mic. Alan needs the mic.
Helen.
A woman will put you in some tough positions. And I'm going to explain something to you guys. You see, you guys are all very intelligent women, so I want you guys not to take this in the wrong way, right?
He's got to butter him up, lie to him before he go in.
The ability to understand or accept the things that I'm saying is probably where the barrier starts.
Yeah. Oh, good point.
You guys can't even
comprehend
accept it before you reject it.
Right.
I can't even get past the barrier.
Woo. Did you ask us? Did you ask us? No.
First of all,
did you ask us?
And reject is two different. Hold on, I'm just trying to get through something real quick, just to correct you. You accept and reject. Those are two different buttons.
No.
There's no accepting and then later on pressing that reject
even
button.
Get past the barrier. There's a doorway of listening. That if you open that doorway, it's also going to have to make you analyze that. A lot of times, all right, so let's just say there's a common saying that 20% of women are chasing 80%. I mean, 80% of women are chasing 20% of men, right? So this is...
But that's not even true.
Poor
this is
Alan.
actually proven true.
It's not.
It's on apps.
Thank
Right?
you. It's
No,
not
just
even
to,
true.
Like let's let him make his point
Please
without
let him
having
talk.
him
So did you-
put anything else on
Go
us.
ahead, go ahead.
Let's just let him
I
talk.
just don't like him saying like false things.
What I'm
can't
trying to
even let
say
him
is
talk.
this.
Say it.
Women naturally are like, y'all just love attention. Y'all do. And sometimes you guys will get the attention at the expense of whatever it takes. That's just a thing for women, right? And I think it's natural more than unnatural.
I'm trying.
Right?
I'm trying, but everything in my
finish.
being just has stop, Alan. Shut up. Stop.
Wow.
Because first
This
of all,
is it.
Sound nuts.
I think that we started
is
this
it.
conversation not generalizing men and
At all.
No,
And literally-
you started it talking about toxic femininity. He's trying to bring up a point to elucidate where it might show up in different forms and fashions. And you can't even, right? Like, it's not like Alan's like me. Like, I need a runway, right? Give me a runway to get my thoughts together, right? I may not start at the craziest point initially, but let me get there. I gotta wove and weave different logical points together. Sounds like Alan's the same way, but you can't even listen to him to get a point or two out before you feel the need to stop him or silence him. You know, watching content like this gives me further information to the importance of my platform, because finally nobody is silencing us over here. And in fact, you find women that understand what men are saying, and they watch the back and forth of something like a podcast like this. And the women are tired of their bullshit too. To acknowledge that toxic masculinity exists while not acknowledging toxic femininity or how it might show up is blasphemous. One cannot exist. If we're going to say that they're real, one cannot exist without the other. Because is it your assertion that components of femininity cannot be weaponized or not be poison or toxic in nature? But you can't even listen long enough to them to fathom an opposing opinion.
accepting the fact that toxic femininity exists.
It's the thing.
You're getting on the mic and you're generalizing all women, saying that we love attention and we just can't help ourselves.
Let me get
This
him
is so
that
crazy.
is, yeah, that it's just not true, because we can definitely say the same thing for men.
Jesus.
You guys love attention as well. I know a lot of men that love attention and love the
brain
attention
can't
of
go
other
beyond
men.
the surface.
That no.
Say that.
That is the attention that
Amanda,
they desire.
speak
That's the attention that you guys are
Thank you.
looking for. You guys are looking to
Thank you.
impress each other. F a woman.
Homeboys, exactly.
So it's like, let's not get up there and do that. If you know the kind of woman that, you know, gets a man in trouble and puts a man in difficult situations because of the attention that she seeks,
This is so crazy.
there's women out there like that. But when you generalize us all and say that that's our like goal in life is to just receive this attention and we're out to get you guys and everything from us is just negative, that spews
Okay.
the wrong message.
Okay,
Are we eight at the table
What?
where we're trying to
Bridge
I can't.
gaps.
bridge gaps and, you know, get people to look at relationships in a positive light? Like, let's not do that.
Shut up. I can't. I can't listen to her anymore. I just feel my brain leaking out my ears. Huh? What is y'all doing over there, baby? Shout out to 8 at the Table. I'm gonna leave a link to the to the channel down up in the description box down below. I gotta do more, all right, because they perfectly capture the oddly damaged symbiotic relationship between the man and the woman today. Shout out to them. Fantastic platform. Go over there and support them. All right, but I'll leave them down in the comment box down below. But again, what you are looking at right here is the quintessential perfect example of why men have to build their own platforms or their own online spaces in the first place. Because anytime when men want to speak, voice an opinion, try to share our side, we get cut off, we get mocked, we get told that our dicks are little or that we're gay or just labeled as the problem entirely. This is why these movements online exist. They were never created to hate on women. It's about balance. When mainstream media has dug men through the mud for decades to the extent of order and structure being taken out of policy for sake of equalness, when we're not equal, we're different. We can be equally valued for different things, but we're damn different. And to say that these things have not been stood up in a structure is fundamentally incorrect. But notice when men begin to talk about these things and also the implications within our society today, we get our words twisted, we get demonized, we get put on a male supremacist list in ranking number 2, might I add. But because why? Because we want accountability, right? And we want to talk about it and talk about all the ways that accountability is not brought into reality today, or the double standards, and to talk about how they exist. And as a man, you should guard yourself or be defensive because of so many reasons that I might bring up. And that's the lesson that I'm going to leave you with, you guys here today, is that the world owes you nothing. It's not about being fair. It's about learning as much as you can within your short time on this planet so you can do damage with. And by damage, I don't mean negative damage. I mean damage with to live a life of as much happiness and joy because you're choosing things correctly the first time. So you're not suffering the ill-fated consequences of the wrong woman, the ill-fated consequences of not understanding what to do with your money, the ill-fated consequences of not understanding yourself and your purpose as a man today. That's what I'm going to leave it with you guys here today. Hopefully you enjoyed this conversation. Leave me them comments down below. Did you learn anything from this conversation? I'm sure most of y'all are gone by now. There's only but so much ear leak of your brains that you can tolerate in a day. Me as well. All right, I think I'm done for the day. I'm going to run me a bath. All right, I gotta go, guys. Until next time, peace.
She belongs to the street.
Girl, don't hold my hand. You a mattress actress on the OnlyFans. Get your money, girl, but damn, how is that your only plan? What you gonna do when you get too old to strip and dance? Get up out your echo chamber, screaming period and yes. You a low down dirty woman if you try to get